So I was asked a really peculiar question the other day. They were just like, if you could do the whole PC thing again, would you do it? And, you know, I don't think I would. And that in and of itself is a really interesting comment. I know, especially because I'm doing the whole PC thing right now. But I want to break that down because I think as a gamer dad, the PC thing really isn't. It isn't as hyped up as I thought it would be. Big is odd, small is even. Let's use the Mario dice. These are terrible dice, by the way, but they're kind of cool. Big is odd, small is even, and that seems like it's odd. So we're going big today. So we'll go that, and then we'll do another one. We're gonna go big is odd, small is even. So let's go big is odd, small is even. We roll, and it would look like we're going big. That's the exact same number twice. Okay. I was like, that's kind of crazy. So we're going to go big. All right, we're going to go big today. Let's go big. We're going to go 30 grams of coffee, 30 delicious grams of my coffee. This is the all-nighter, right? Whether you're preparing for one or just recovering from one. It's not for sale yet. It will be. And then we're going to go ahead and grind for the AeroPress XL, which should be a good deal of fun. So let's go ahead and grind that up and talk about how I think that the PC thing, PC console switch, is a little bit more nuanced and a lot less of like this big deal. So I'm about 90 days into this PC gamer thing. I have transitioned away from console gaming exclusively. I was a console gamer my whole life, playing on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 5. I had a Mac as my primary computing device. And now I am switched over to Windows. I have a giant, big PC. It's pretty powerful, good enough. You know, it's not the best of the best, but it's darn near close to maxed out. At least last gen's maxed out since the 40 series. Now we have the 50 series graphics cards for those of you who care. So I'm running a 4080 Super, which is almost to the top, but not quite. I have been using this thing every single day. I've been gaming on it every single day, and originally when I got this, there was a little bit of a identity crisis going on. So the first thing was like, okay, what kind of gamer am I? I'm playing on PC or console my whole life, going over to PC, let's go marketing, let's make this a thing, let's have some fun with it. That started it. That was kind of like the first rejuvenation of my content, right? And that was a big part of it was actually driven by content creation. Another part was like, okay, let's think about it from a practical standpoint. You know, gaming as a whole is going everywhere in every which way, right? So we have PC gaming getting just about everything. PlayStation is having to keep up with Xbox, and so PlayStation is releasing stuff on the Windows platform. We're seeing games just come directly to PC, not having to wait for console exclusivity. This is a thing that's been happening more and more as time goes on. And what I just said, console exclusivity, that means that there was one point when the console got the exclusive access to the game itself, and then eventually it went over to PC. Now guys, quick side note, I am using the AeroPress XL. This was something that I was like, okay, this is kind of gimmicky. It's massive, it's ginormous, it's huge. Look at this thing. It's huge. I mean, this is a normal AeroPress. It's huge, and the diameter of it alone, right? This is, again, a normal AeroPress, fully fits in with some space to that. So this is interesting. I got it because I'm like, can I make a full cup of coffee? I do pour overs. Can I make a full cup of coffee in an AeroPress XL? So here we go. We went 30 grams of coffee, a 60-gram dose, and now I'm filling it to the top with 500 grams of water. 500, just making sure that we have full saturation of all my beans. I'm going to keep going with this sucker, see how high we can go. 500, and then we're just going to do the standard AeroPress method here. So we're almost to 500. We hit 500 right there. Seal it. Spin it. Seal it again. Make sure there's no drips. Stop the dripping. And now we have another kind of minute of a full immersion brew. Dude, this thing is massive, dude. Massive. Like my whole arm. Crazy. So I'm running the PC, the PC now. I'm running on PC, and I had this conversation over on my Discord, or not Discord, over on Lives, twitch.tv/JDXCoffee, and I'm gonna move this so I can see. And while we were talking, they're like, would you do it again? if you started over, would you do it again? Someone was asking, what should I get? Should I get a PS5 or should I get a actual PC, save for a PC? And I said something that seemed to be somewhat controversial, but that's okay by me because I like doing the controversial concepts in that space. And I said, if I was in your shoes and I had nothing, I only had a Nintendo Switch, or I had nothing, I didn't have a Steam Deck, I would actually go with PS5 Pro. And that sounds crazy, right? After having all these conversations, and I have to put them on blast. One of the awesome people over live said you would doom someone to paying monthly to PS Plus for the rest of your life. They literally said that. You would doom them. It was like this big, huge, I can't believe you would actually curse their name and curse them to that terrible fate of spending monthly for PS Plus. And yeah, I would absolutely suggest to get on there. And I've been on record multiple times saying, hey, I think that subscription services are kind of lame. I think that this whole push for all these different sub services is kind of like diluting gaming as a whole. I don't think that it's a good thing for the most part. And I, don't love it. But yes, I would say, hey, even paying online for gaming on a PlayStation isn't that big of a deal. We're gonna reach into the normal dice because I want to get this accurately. These dice, these Mario Party dice, they're cool, but they're raised. And so because they're raised when they land, they just kind of tilt side to side. I mean, the 3 dice has the face, but how do you know which one? I mean, you would have to go based on the one that it lands down, because if it's landing up, then you don't know if it's 1, 3, or 2. So these look cool. That's about it. This wooden case for all my dice is pretty cool, though, so I guess we'll consider that. But we're going to go with 1, 2, 3, 4. See what we're going with. 3, which is green, which I think is, kind of cool because we're talking about, Windows, Xbox, all that stuff. So when it comes to the whole, which one would I get now in 2025, if I had nothing, would I go console, PC? A lot of it just comes down to kind of like speed to play, like getting into gaming. If I was starting fresh right off rip, I don't think the necessity for like a massive giant like PC is necessarily like that big of a deal. I don't think that getting into gaming and trying to run on a PC is like gonna give you, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I really came into the PC concept, I guess, like genuinely thinking that this is going to be such an awesome experience. It's going to feel like someone is like giving me a hug, and that, they're holding my hand, and they're, giving me little kisses on the cheek. Like, it's going to be this beautiful, wonderful experience that's going to be so different from the console gaming experience. And honestly, aside from some conveniences that exist with PC gaming, I will say I'm someone who plays retro titles primarily. I'm going through the whole Final Fantasy series live over on twitch.tv/JDXCoffee. So like I'm going through the pixel remasters. They're not that demanding. Plus 7, 8, 9, 10. Again, the first 10 entries to Final Fantasy can be easily played at full whatever, pushing it to the limit on the Steam Deck without having any issues. I mean, I will say the PC ports of Final Fantasy VII and 9, I actually prefer the Nintendo Switch port. I think it's a better one, but whatever, that's not really the point. The games I play primarily do run on both. So it is nice that I can play on my PC, and I'm having a great time. I'm having a wonderful time on my PC. And then I'm like, oh, cool. Everyone's up. I'm going to go hang out in the living room with the family. My kids are playing with Magnet Tiles. My wife is watching TV or something. I'm just going to sit there and play through Final Fantasy II, which everybody seems to hate, by the way. I don't have any problem with Final Fantasy II. I think Final Fantasy II is fine. I'm only like 3 hours in, but still, I think Final Fantasy II is fine. Let's taste it. It's fine. It's good. I think the grind size might have been a problem. It's a little watered down, which means the grind size was a problem. I think it was a little too coarse, if I'm being honest. Of course, means that the water passed through quickly, and so steeping wise, there wasn't as much there for that flavor. Quick side note, Coffee 101. When it comes to making coffee, the finer the grind, the higher the possibility for extraction, right? Seems odd that you would think that bigger, more, smaller, less. Now it comes down to like parts per, right? And so if you have a smaller grind size, the same. So let's say you have, 10 grams of coffee, and then you grind it very fine. If you were to count every single grind, there would be significantly more grinds in tiny, tiny fine grind than there would be on a super coarse grind, right? Think of it as like flour to sand. If you had sand in one hand and flour in another hand, and you were somehow able to pick apart each single individual granular flour, 10 grams of flour would have more parts per volume as 10 grams of sand. The weight is the same, but the amount is more. And when you have more, that means that water, because the way that extraction works with coffee, is water pulls the soluble, the tiny little itty bitty coffee bit, off of the side of the surface area of the grind. And so this right here is actually particles pulled off of the side of the surface area of a grind. So if you have more ground particles, parts per volume, then you have the opportunity or the possibility to actually extract more. Someone say, like, wouldn't you want it to be the finest possible? Well, I'd get something like espresso, very, very pungent, extremely fine, small, compact, pressurized, completely owned type of brewing process, versus something like French press, which is very coarse, but it sits there and brews in its own juices and just pulls and pulls and pulls and keeps extracting. And so, looking at the AeroPress, if it wasn't ground fine enough, then extraction means it wasn't able to pull as much off of the grind particles themselves, therefore leaving me with a cup that doesn't have as much flavor. I can talk about this forever. And I will. Not today. Back to the PC versus console. When it comes to the PC experience, the convenience I have is everything's in one place. Ooh, that is so nice. That is so nice. I love that. Everything in one place. Everything in one place. I can grab my books whenever I want. Everything's great. I don't have to go over to the living room and grab my books. I don't have to grab my Kindle and read on there. And then it's everything in one place. That does seem nice. I think that I might have made that a little bit more of a selling point than I think it really matters. Gaming has become so sophisticated that getting access to games isn't as challenging as it once was. Yeah, sure, having a few games on the PlayStation system, like I have my Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero is over there because I haven't purchased it for PC to use on PC because it's still 100 or 90 or 70, whatever, whichever version. It's still $70 to purchase. It's not on sale. And I purchased it, the legendary version, early for $110 when it originally launched. So I've already spent $110. I don't really feel like spending another $70 to get it again on a different platform. So they got me there. A couple other games I have over there, God of War series, Horizon series, all these games I have on my PlayStation, they run just fine. Can they run better on my PC? I mean, some would argue yes, but why? I have them on the PlayStation. I still have my PlayStation. It's still there. I can still use it as much as I want. The idea of everything in one place and just having one feels really nice. I mean, yeah, I got my Steam Deck. I can just use that. I can use it whenever I want. This is great. I just have a PC and a Nintendo all in one place. 2, not 3, right? That's a conversation that we had a while ago. I talked about how reducing and minimizing the amount of gear that you have is helpful because it helps you with decision fatigue because you don't have many options, right? You're like, oh, I want to buy Sparking Zero. Let's use that question again. Should I buy it for my PlayStation to play with my PSN friends? Should I buy it for PC to play with my PC friends? If you just have PC and Nintendo Switch, obviously it's no brainer. I'm just gonna buy it for my PC. It's gonna be easy peasy, you know. I want to play Call of Duty. Where do I want to play this? Not Call of Duty. I want to play on PC because I have a better version with the FOV. Do I want to play it on, the PlayStation because this, that, and the other? Which one do I want to do? It's easy. You're not gaming on your PC. You just have PlayStation. So you're like, this is gonna go with PlayStation. These kind of things kind of help kind of delineate decision making, especially for people who are multi-console users. I mean, come on, we're all in our 30s. We're parents. We've been doing this for a while. We have these things. We have these gaming devices. We're just trying to get a few minutes in while their little ones are sleeping or they're off at school. We have, day off from work, whatever it may be. Why? There's so much emphasis on where, why, and how to play. I mean, let me backpedal a little bit because I think it's important to reinstate something. Restate something. I think that, yes, I definitely think that PC is the most convenient if you are also a Steam Deck user, if you're a deck daddy. I am a deck daddy. I will always be a deck daddy. I might be an Ally X guy sometime, but I'm a portable papa. That's what I'm trying to say. And portable gaming for me is clutch. Nintendo Switch, Asus ROG Ally X, or Steam Deck, whatever it may be. It is absolutely, unmatched. Again, I gotta move this because my computer keeps going to sleep, so I can't, see myself. Great, now it's flickering and causing all these issues. Awesome. So when it comes to gaming on PC. I'm not saying it's not a good system. Okay, this is flickering and flashing like crazy. Let's just reset the whole TV system. Doesn't matter. Recording's still going. Again, it doesn't. I'm not saying PC gaming is bad. I don't want to say that. But when the original question was, which one would you do if you could do it all over again, or which one should I get? I can't help but say that the PlayStation 5 itself, the experience that I've seen, not seen it, the PlayStation 5 Pro, from what I've seen, is a really, really cool, I think a really cool offering. Some people think it's a waste of money, and they think just go, if you have a PlayStation 5, why upgrade? That's a very good point. I would say that's a very good point. But I think as far as the console gaming world is concerned, I think it's safe to say that Xbox is pretty much over. I mean, Xbox themselves, I talked about this over on stream. I was going to make a video about it. I didn't really like the way the audio was, so I never ended up making a video about it. So to sum it up, basically, with a 35-minute long kind of debunk of a podcast episode that Phil Spencer had with some other people. They talked about the future of Xbox. Does it seem like Xbox is making more content directly for the consoles, or are they open for everybody? And he basically alluded to a very, very awesome, I think a very, very smart move by Microsoft or Xbox, whoever you want to call them. And that is that Xbox sees that there is value in allowing gamers, you, to have access to their titles however they feel like they want to have access to them. And I think that's really great. Someone in my Discord made the point, they said, this is reducing competition, not having competition is bad, monopolies, all this, that, and the other. Well, I agree to a certain extent that monopolies are bad. Well, I do agree that monopolies are bad. Less competition is bad. I do believe that too. I don't see this as less competition. In fact, I see this as a highly competitive move. I think this move to bring Xbox out of the console race, they went from being a competitor to being a companion. That's a huge transition, dude. They went from competing with Sony for their titles, saying you need to buy an Xbox, or you don't even need to anymore, you can just have a PC, but you need to have at least an Xbox or a PC to play our games, to being like, hey, we don't care where you play them. You want to play them on PlayStation? Whatever. Sony's just going to give us a few bucks out of that, and we're good to go, right? Like, here you go. Here are your games. Now the competition goes from the container to the content. And I think that is massive, and I am crushing it with the alliteration today. Pastoral school paying off. Gosh, I'm a nerd. And I have an analogy for you to further solidify that I went to school to be a pastor. Analogy is this. Let's say, I talked about this on stream over on twitch.tv/JDXCoffee. Let's say you want to go get a burger. For those of you West Coasters or whatever, people who have In-N-Out, there's In-N-Out, a delicious burger joint. There is another burger joint that is often compared to In-N-Out called Five Guys, right? They're different. I don't think that they should be compared to each other, but let's just use these two chains, okay? You can fill in the blank however you want, two different chains. These two chains have two burgers. You have In-N-Out and you have Five Guys. And then this beautiful place opens up. Now, this analogy isn't perfect, but just track with me for a second. Good grief, take it easy. Frankie the Fern. That's not a fern, that's a palm tree. So we're going to have to figure out a name for that guy, but let's continue on. Hobbs, of course, Hobbs is with me. Let's continue. There's a place that opens up called Burgers R Us. Burgers R Us specifically serves Five Guys and In-N-Out in the same place. In fact, you go to the same place, and in one side of it is the white, beautiful kitchen that you find at In-N-Out, with In-N-Out employees, with In-N-Out hats, the whole shebang. On the other side is Five Guys, with a big, huge, flat top and all the different things in the toppings over on the other side. And there's someone at the front that says, hello, what would you like to eat today? And you go, I would like to have a double-double from In-N-Out. And he goes, all right, cool. In-N-Out, make me a double-double. And in Burgers R Us, you're able to consume, you guessed it, an In-N-Out burger. Yummy. Yummy. And then your buddy's like, I really want Five Guys. And you're like, let's go to Burgers R Us. And I want In-N-Out. I really want In-N-Out. And he goes, screw that place, because they serve In-N-Out. I will not go to a place that serves In-N-Out. I just want a Five Guys. And I look at him and I go, dude, they have Five Guys. It's literally Five Guys. It's the exact kitchen. They just allow you to purchase it in Burgers R Us. It's like, no, it's not Five Guys, because it's not in a Five Guys restaurant. I will only eat Five Guys in a Five Guys restaurant because I want to step on peanuts. I don't know why they do this peanut thing. You can just eat peanuts and throw it on the floor. It's kind of ridiculous. Whatever. If you're into it, hey, just go to a baseball game. Okay? No, I won't go there. It's not a Five Guys restaurant. In fact, I can't believe that Five Guys would sell their burgers next to In-N-Out. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. My buddy wants to eat Five Guys. I want to eat this. My friend wants to play Halo, and I want to play God of War. It doesn't matter. Let's say PlayStation gets both of them. Why would Microsoft get so angry? I know the analogy works better if In-N-Out started serving Five Guys burgers, but whatever. Realized it as I was saying it. I'm like, that would have been a better analogy if I used it that way. But hey, whatever. We discover things as the coffee kicks in, as I speak, as I go. I didn't finish pastoral school, okay? I didn't finish. I haven't finished any schooling except for high school. It shows. So, back to the original thing. Why would I say that I'd go down the PlayStation road if I was doing it all over again? Because I realized that the gaming that I do isn't contingent on performance. In fact, if PlayStation and Xbox are going to start throwing their games on either platform, yes, a PC is indeed going to grant you the most access to the most things, but I don't think having the most access to the most things is actually necessarily the thing you should look to purchase a device. Someone said, well, you can just make a cheap PC and upgrade when you see fit. It's like, but why? We're at a point in gaming where optimization is a huge thing, right? Everything's optimizing this, optimizing that. PlayStation has heavily leaned into optimization with their PSSR, dude. Weird names. Everyone's going proprietary. It's kind of just bizarre. And in doing this, they're like, hey, we have this whole thing, the PSSR, it's great, it upscales. And it does. It looks good. It actually looks great. If you're going to be able to get super consistent, very, very, good looking, picture perfect, whatever you want to say, like clarity, and it's going to last for 7 years. Someone's like, well, yeah, dude, PC's forever. My Steam library is 30 years old or whatever. Not 30, obviously not 30, but this is super old. I have thousands of games. A couple things. One, thousands of games. That's crazy to me. But also, I don't know how much that matters. I don't know how much of placing emphasis on that specific selling point really matters to a specific demographic, which I think is increasingly more common. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I don't even need to ask you to, because I know you will. I think there are more of me than there are of you. And the you I'm talking about is the you who's getting their blood all boiled from the fact that I'm saying that I would have purchased a PlayStation over a PC. I know that your blood is boiling right now, but I think there's more of me. I think there are more dads. I think there are more hobbyists that are just not hobbyists, rather casuals. They're just looking to get their time in. They're just looking to play a little bit of Monster Hunter Wilds. They're just looking to get in and play, get swept up in Limgrave, or play a little bit of Breath of the Wild, that just want those moments, that don't have the capacity to weigh this or that or figure out, is this the best? How can I min-max? I think the biggest issue that we run into, and I just found out the name of this video, is you need to stop min-maxing your hobbies. Mario, we crushed it. Guts, we're going to talk about it. You need to stop min-maxing your hobby. I think that this is where we are going with gaming as a whole. How can we min-max it? And I've talked about it, for goodness sakes. I got caught up in the min-maxing issue. Somehow significantly hotter in plastic. I have talked about the min-maxing issue. I've talked about the whole, let's make the gaming super, super, all of it's in one place. I can start here, go there. It's a very convenient thing. I love the Steam Deck. I love the Steam Deck so much that I had the better handheld. I had the Asus ROG Ally X, and I still got rid of it to use the Steam Deck because of ease of use and because my primary way to play on the Steam Deck is not inhibited by the games. Inhibited? The performance doesn't hold me back because the games I play don't need performance. Yes, Asus ROG Ally X is a overall better device, but the Steam Deck serves me very, very well as a portable gamer. And so when it comes to gaming, when the question was asked, where should I go? PlayStation 5 Pro for $1,000 for the thing, a year of PS Plus online, and this, that, and the other, or a PC. No online costs, cheaper games on Steam sales, and the ability to multitask this, that, and the other. Where should I go? And it just comes down to one simple question that I have back. What games are you looking to play? Are you looking to play 50 to 100 games consecutively, back and forth, or are you just looking to play 1 to 2 games here and there? Are you looking to game for 3, 4, 5, 6 hours on a weekly basis and one-time sittings, or are you just looking to casually get 30 minutes to an hour in? Do you already have a PC that, I guess this is more than one question, but it's the concept. I think conceptually, the one question that I would ask someone is, what games do you want to play? And a follow-up would be like, how much time do you have? I think that PC is not time-consuming, it is not complicated, and it is not at all buggy. People who are like, dude, I just was so sick of fiddling with settings. Let me be the first to tell you, I've had it for 90 days. Maybe I've had a 90-day, fiance kind of thing. What? I don't even know what that means. Maybe this is like the best 90 days that anyone has ever had. I went from Mac to PC, for goodness sakes. I've had no issues. Yes, some flickering of the screen, but I'm using a TV. It doesn't surprise me. I've had some random crashes and quits, but honestly, I've had that on the PlayStation. Randomly just freezes. That happens. These kind of things happen. The reason why I haven't had issues is because I spent a very large amount of money on a PC. I bought big. And because I bought big, hiccups and issues and bumps in the road just don't matter because my machine is so big that those bumps are too small to feel. If I went to, let's use cars for a second if you want to. Let's go with it. Very eco-friendly Honda Civic, and then let's go with a somewhat not as eco-friendly, and by eco I just mean like cost. Let's go with a somewhat not as financially responsible Ford Raptor. Okay, giant, huge truck versus sedan. Okay, sedan, Civic. This is going to be highly optimized for very, very smooth sailing on something that is built for you, just a road. And then you have a truck. Smooth sailing goes on, normal road, you're fine. No issues. But if there's a pothole, if there's an issue there, right? Boom, that pothole is going to be felt, right? And that smooth sailing, little bit is the console or the equivalent in PC. Now on console is very, very tricky. Console has a actual road built for it. The road for console is a very, very closed track. You can't make right turns, left turns. You are on a closed track. You can't go anywhere. So the chances of you getting a pothole is very low, very low. But let's take that small eco-friendly car, the equivalent of a console, and let's build a PC for you. And let's put that PC on the PC track, except it's not a track. It's an open world, an open road. You can go wherever you want, every which way, and it is heavily affected by weather, by drivers, by unexpected things like, again, weather, and for us, PC folk, updates, okay? The second, or non-optimized games. The second there are hiccups or bumps on someone who spent less money on a PC, there is going to be some finesse you're going to have to do. Oh, that bump sucks. Maybe I should take a different road. Maybe I should see how I can adjust things and figure out which way around these bumps, because these bumps, whew, man, they make it rough. And in being rough, I feel like I just want to have a better experience. I have to excuse the little hiccup there. My camera died. And so it died while I was recording this. That means that I finished 15 minutes of a video. Yeah, this is going to be a long one. Let's continue. So you have this experience, right? You have the PC equivalent of car, and then you have the big, huge behemoth truck. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which turn you go down. It's just going to handle it. Sure, there's some that is really going to push the limits of that, and that's the reason why you purchased a much more capable piece of machinery, a big truck to push that, or a big machine to push those games. But it doesn't matter. And so for most instances, you're not even going to feel the hiccups that someone with a lesser optimized, lower machine is going to feel. That for me is what I looked for when I went into PC gaming. I didn't want to fiddle with settings. I didn't want to deal with stuff. I just wanted to turn it on and go, because I wanted a console experience that was similar. I wanted a console experience, honestly, on a PC, which is ridiculous. The problem that I think I ended up running into is that this did nothing for how games felt. Games don't feel better on PC. I don't feel better on PC. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to sit here and like virtue signal, oh yeah, I'm not giving money to the bad guy. Dude, come on. I have 2 kids, 2 children that I take care of. I have a wife who I love and take care of. Like, what? Like, I'm going to freak out about a CEO getting money from me? Are you kidding me? I can't be bothered by that. I know there are people online that really take this to heart and they push it. Oh gosh, down with Helldivers, because how dare they do that to those people in those countries? Hey, it's going to sound insensitive, but like, it's a video game. And if you can't play it, then you can't play it. The world's going to go on. And for me, my world outside of this door is going to go on if I can't play Helldivers in, the middle of some country because PS Network doesn't work. And am I going to doom someone to the PS Network that's not accessible anywhere and Sony's terrible practices? Yeah, I'm going to doom them to it for one very specific reason. It's video games. I know, this is my villain arc. I'm getting at this. There was a time where gaming was so much more important than what you were gaming on. Yes, the console war was a thing. Are you an Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, this, that, the other? But as kids, what was the dream? What was the dream? The dream wasn't to just have an Xbox. It wasn't to be that one freaking loser who screams and cries and screams and cries about having, oh no, you don't play on Xbox? How dare you? No, it was to have all of them. That was the dream. We wanted them all. You wanted to have. Remember that friend? We all had that friend. Maybe you were that friend. And now you wonder why everybody wanted to come to your house. You had the Xbox, the PlayStation, the Nintendo device, the handheld, the Dreamcast. You had it all. You were that guy. Or girl. Less likely. But you could have been a girl with all that stuff. I didn't know any. Didn't meet any girls till a lot later in life. As I'm saying this, sounds kind of weird. As I'm going through this, I'm realizing the whole thing I'm getting at here is min-maxing your gaming experience. We have come to a point where you can literally game on a TV without an Xbox. You can play Indiana Jones with nothing more than a controller and a Samsung TV. That's freaking the coolest thing ever. Now, whether it runs super well or not, I don't know. Am I going to have a better experience on my PC? As far as like consistency of performance, I don't know because I haven't done the Samsung thing. But I know you can do it. You can do it. So gaming is everywhere and anywhere in between. I think really what we need to take a step back on is it just doesn't matter. And so when someone asks, should I buy a PlayStation 5 Pro or a PC? It comes down to that one specific question. And it's as simple as this. Excuse me. What games are you going to play? Not what games do you want to play? Not what games would you like to try? Not what games are you looking to maybe fantasize about? It's like, what games are you going to play? The general consumer is like, I just want 30 minutes. I have to work 4 jobs just to afford to live. Like, that is what we're dealing with here. And so, like, that person, and even the person who does have the time, they aren't spending 3, 4, 7 hours playing online independently by themselves, at least in their 30s. I don't know anyone like that. I'm not saying they don't exist, but they certainly aren't the majority percentage. The majority percentage is just people trying to figure it out, spending more time on Reddit and on YouTube listening to silly people who scream and yell about which one to get. I'm one of those people. I'm trying to be as self-aware as possible here. When you should just be enjoying the games. I mean, it used to be a time where you couldn't wait to talk to your buddy about whatever you did in your game. Oh my gosh, I finally got my dream Pokemon team. Oh, dude, I can't believe that boss was so tough. I beat him finally. You didn't do it yet. You're a loser. You suck. I'm better than you at video games. Oh, you know what? My KD's better than you in Halo, and you know it. You come over to my place. I'm going to crush you. You're not going to be able to, step outside the house. You're going to be so embarrassed. Oh, whoops. My mouth is a lot more capable than my actual gaming performance, and I actually got crushed. These were the things that happened. This was gaming. Now it's, oh, let me min-max it. I can't believe Sony did this. It's so anti-consumer, I'm not going to get. The competition is gone because Xbox isn't making consoles anymore. I can't believe that they didn't re-release this. Oh, they're charging full price for the... Holy crap. Gamers have become whiny babies. and they stop playing video games. I feel like gamers at this point are spending more time talking about video games than they actually play video games. Is that what a gamer is? Is a gamer just someone who talks about video games? Because if that's the case, I know a lot of gamers. Shots fired. Guys, just play video games. Just play video games. If you're looking to figure out what's the best solution for you, understand that video games are going to be released on multiple platforms for the remainder of their entirety. And so at the end of the day, you should decide, what games am I going to play? Am I going to get through 2 titles in the year? Am I going to buy 50 titles with Humble Bundle as well as Steam sales and play none of them? Because those are 2 different types of gamers. One is a collector. They collect digital titles that they aren't going to play. And the other one just plays video games and then they continue to play video games, right? You could just be a collector. If you're just a collector, that's its own person. I would suggest just getting a Steam Deck, because if you're not going to play them, then it doesn't really matter and you spend a lot less money. And plus the Steam Deck, you can show off to everybody that you have 800 to 1,000 games. You're like, hey, look, I have 1,000 games. How many games do you have on Steam? And they go, what's Steam? Don't you use that to make your milk hot in coffee? And they're like, no, it's a video game thing. And you're like, well, why are you showing me this? I just want to know if you want to get a latte. And you're just like, but I got a lot of Steam games. That was mean. Play more video games, guys. It's worth it. It is. And to those of you who want to talk and have fun and meet other people who might be sarcastic, silly, goofy, wonderful people, come join me over on Twitch, twitch.tv/JDXCoffee in the community tab or post tab. They always change it on YouTube, which is great because I change everything all the time too. You can see my schedule. I post it on Sunday evening-ish time, and I would say that I'm pretty consistent when it comes to sticking to what I post. I do stream in the morning times because that's the best time for me right now, and so you can join me during that time, morning time Pacific. You can be somewhere else in the world. It could be nighttime. I don't know. But at this point, I think I'm done. My kids are awake. My wife is taking care of my children because it's the weekend, and I should go help because that's what husbands do. They help. Or they hide in their offices and play video games. Which one is the right choice? Well, we shall find out. You guys are awesome. As always, play more, be kind. See ya.